Okay, let's dive in. We're looking today at a text called resumen.txt, which really goes deep on Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill Volume 1.
Exactly. And the mission here, based on this text, is to unpack what makes it such a key film. More than just a revenge flick, right?
Right. It's framed as almost a manifesto of his style. We'll be looking at that style, the context, what was new, and its, lasting impact.
Yeah, get ready for some seriously stylized violence, a real mix of genres, and of course, the bride, an iconic character.
The text definitely sets it up as more than just entertainment. It's a statement piece.
Mm-hmm. And it starts with Tarantino himself, already known for being bold, loving film history, but also twisting expectations.
And this film, Kill Bill, is presented as maybe the prime example of that, really concentrating his vision.
Absolutely. The text really hammers home the extreme genre blending.
Yeah.
It's not just borrowing, it's like a collage.
Okay, so what kind of genres are we talking about here?
Well, the source lists quite a few. Spaghetti westerns are huge. You feel it in the pacing, the music cues.
Like Morricone vibes?
Totally. Then there's a massive amount of Hong Kong martial arts. It specifically mentions Shaw Brothers films, Sonny Chiba.
Yeah.
That kinetic energy.
Mm-hmm. Plus,
You've got bits of anime, blaxploitation, even like B-horror films mixed in there.
Wow, that's a lot to juggle.
It is. But the analysis suggests he weaves it all together into something that feels, well, uniquely Tarantino. Coherent, somehow.
And beyond the genres, what about other stylistic stuff? The narrative?
Yeah, the text mentions that. Even though Vol 1 is maybe more straightforward than, say, Pulp Fiction, it still plays with time. You get those flashbacks, the chapter breaks.
Revealing backstory bit by bit.
Exactly. And the dialogue, of course. Classic Tarantino, super sharp, pop culture heavy, even right in the middle of mayhem.
Like the pussy wagging conversation.
Precisely. Or Oren's backstory done as anime. The text finds that contrast really interesting, the crazy violence next to these almost mundane chats.
Visually, too, it's described as pure stylization.
Right. Oh, absolutely. The fights are like ballet. The blood is just over the top. Artistic, almost. Unique camera work. It's all drawing attention to itself as cinema.
And the music. The text emphasizes that eclectic mix.
Crucial. Western sounds, Eastern sounds, rock.
Yeah.
It shifts constantly, but always fits that heightened reality the film creates. It's about spectacle, celebrating film language.
Okay, so stylistically intense. What about themes? Vengeance is obviously central.
It is, but the source argues it explores the obsession of vengeance, the psychology behind it, plus loyalty, betrayal, identity.
And the bride herself, Uma Thurman.
Highlighted as a key figure, an icon of female empowerment, but specifically through her relentless, brutal quest. It's complex.
So context-wise, this film comes out when?
2003. The text places in a time when indie film was strong, global pop culture was really mixing, Tarantino was big, but this kind of cemented him.
As this major genre-mashing auteur.
Exactly. And remember that origin story, him and Uma Thurman cooking up the idea during Pulp Fiction?
Right. And the basic setup is just brutal.
Yeah, the wedding massacre, the coma, waking up, and then just systematically hunting down Bill and the Viper Squad. Orenishi in Tokyo for Nita Green in suburbia.
So given all that, why does the source insist it's a key work? What makes it stand out?
Well, the argument is it's where his fascination with genres really culminates, pushing his style to new levels.
Consolidating his approach.
Yes.
Yeah.
It cemented him as someone who could take film history, take existing parts, and totally remake them into his own thing. The text calls it a paradigm of his method. And again, the bride's importance as this strong, complex female lead in action cinema can't be overstated.
And it brought innovations that stuck.
Definitely. That extreme genre fusion was pretty groundbreaking at the time. Also, the way the violence is stylized and choreographed, exaggerated, not aiming for realism at all.
Making it aesthetic.
Kind of, yeah. And the source also points to the expressive use of music. These weren't just quirks. They were part of his authorial voice, transforming familiar things.
And its legacy, did it influence others?
The text argues yes. It mentions filmmakers like Edgar Wright, Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Basically showing that you could make smart, referential, highly stylized genre films that still had weight. It opened doors creatively.
I remember the reception was a bit mixed initially, though.
It was. Some critics loved the style, the audacity. Others found the violence excessive or felt it was, superficial.
But that changed.
Over time, yeah. The source notes it's now widely seen as a masterpiece. The bride is a cultural icon. And the debate about the violence continues. But the text suggests the extreme stylization actually creates distance, making you appreciate the craft, not just react viscerally.
So wrapping up, the source positions Kill Bill, Volume 1, as way more than just a cool action movie. It's an artistic statement, a love letter to cinema history.
And a really bold declaration of Tarantino's whole cinematic project.
Yeah.
What's interesting from this reading is how that extreme style, especially the action, isn't just for show. So here's something for you to think about based on this analysis. Considering the bride's journey and that hyper-stylized world, what does it suggest about how style itself can explore themes? Not just look cool, but actually dig into things like empowerment, or maybe the real cost of vengeance.